Hey guys, Nick Kellar, Greg Brock, Atlas Premier Realty, coming to you with another video blog. We appreciate you joining us. Today we're the beginning of October. We're really knee deep into the fall season for real estate, even though it just turned over seasons. So we just wanted to get into what we're seeing, what we're feeling, go over some numbers so that you can see how it might impact you or somebody you know getting into the market.
Yeah, as we get to October 1st, we're into Q3, and looking back at this year, it's been an interesting year. I feel like the spring market was a little delayed.
Yeah.
And we had a decent summer, at least locally. And so we're seeing a little bit of a transition right now.
Yeah, I mean, we were off to a pretty good start here with the fall season, which can be hit or miss. I mean, in the years that we've both been doing this, it could be really dry, it could be really busy, and right now we're seeing it start to spike a little bit, which is nice. So, but it's important to know that over the last few months, we've seen inventory. When I talk about inventory, it's new homes coming on the market. We've seen that drop month over month since June, which is pretty common. The summer dries up as people have other things to do, vacations, it's summer. Then it gets closer to the school year, people start thinking about school, then it's Labor Day, and then we get adjusted to school, and then the holidays are coming. That's kind of where we are now. So it's very common to see the inventory drop.
Right. And then what I've been noticing right now, especially in the last 2 weeks, is that we are seeing a spike in inventory coming back onto the market. Specifically, I have a listing in town here in Westminster that when I comped out in the middle of summer to get ready to go on the market, there was only 6 comparable homes between the prices of $200,000 and $240,000. When I ran those same exact comps just last week, it was 17 comparable properties in that same price range. So the inventory in that price range has gone up, and that usually means we're going to see an increase in days on market.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, we've seen days on market go from, in Baltimore and Carroll counties, we've seen them go from 32 days in June to 36 in July, 41 in August, and 40 in September. So we've gone from the low 30s to the high 40s. Doesn't seem like a big jump, but every day counts in 100%. Real estate. The less time you spend on the market, the more money you make. At the same time, we've seen pendings go down. So the pendings are the amount of homes that go under contract. We've seen that go down consistently every month since June. Again, not uncommon, but something you got to be wary of. You got to consider if you're considering getting in the market.
So those things in play as a seller, and some of the statistics that you have compiled over the last 7 years, essentially.
2012.
What is it that a seller needs to do in order to be prepared for this fall market?
So I think it's really important. Good question. So I think it's really important to realize that for the most part, real estate's very reactive. So appraisers always look at the last 6 months. Real estate agents always look at the last 6 months. The problem with that is you're always looking at past data. So and real estate's very seasonal. So what happened in the spring and the summer doesn't mean what's going to happen in the fall. But we always look at that to price, which isn't the full story. I guess is what I'm saying. It's part of it. So when you're pricing a home now and you're looking at the last 6 months, you're covering some of the spring market. And as we all know, the spring market is the most crazy time of year. It's when things are the highest, right? It's when things sell the fastest. Well, it's not that time period anymore. So what I've done over the last 7 years, since 2012, I tracked average sale price and days on market season over season for the last 7 years. And what I found is that the difference from the spring market to the fall market and second quarter to third and fourth quarter is about a 2 to 5% adjustment. And it can vary by year, but 2 to 5% adjustment. So if you're pricing to sell a home today and you're looking at homes that sold in the last 6 months covering the spring market, you probably want to adjust in front of that somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 5%.
So in other words, you got to get ahead of the curve here. Right. So if you're currently on the market or you're thinking about coming on the market and you're looking at historical data, you really need to price your home 2 to 5% less to generate offers.
And you want to get ahead of it. You don't want to be chasing the market. You want to be proactive.
And that's really what it comes down to, right? Is we got to get ahead of this fall market. And if you're on the market now, get ahead of it.
It's not good or bad. It's really just using information and evidence and research to position you in the best position possible so that you're making good decisions and you're not stuck in a position where you're chasing things down. You'd always want to stay ahead of it. So hope that clears up any questions you might have about where we are with today's market. As always, if you have any questions, you need any clarification on anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to one of us.
Yep.
And we always appreciate the support.
Thanks
See you next time.